And we're live.
Rich, how are you?
I'm good. Hey, we're doing something new tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Welcome everybody to the first ever live broadcasting of Underground Video Networks. That's true. Yeah, not the first. That's right.
Live broadcasts. The first
that's
in
right.
the modern day.
Yes, the first of this format, the post COVID-19 quarantine podcast. And
we was doing this back in 2006 when no one was watching us.
Nobody watches us now, man. Nothing's changed. First of all, me and Richard want to say this is probably the first chance that a lot of our friends have gotten a chance to see us in a while because, of everything that's been going on. So many of the cons that we're used to seeing people at have been shut down. First and foremost, the City Comicon. That was heartbreaking, Rich.
Yeah. I always hate to see that or miss that one,
That one, that was kind of like for me when I knew that the S had hit the fan, because it's just like, oh, no, because that's the show where we get to see we have so many friends that we consider almost family that's about like once or twice a year we get to see them. And that's always one of the chances we get to see them. But this is the first chance that a lot of our friends have gotten to see us. And we just want to take a chance to say that we hope everybody is safe, everybody is well, and everybody is doing what they can to keep themselves and their family and friends safe. Rich, how have you been doing during all this?
Yeah, it's been rough. I've been finishing up school, so I got one more little thing to do at OSU, then I'll be graduated, and then I'm looking on to other things. I don't know what's going to happen, so I don't know. So I really don't want to say too much until it gets set in stone. So
don't want to jinx anything.
Correct.
Yeah. Me, I've had some time off work and I have gone back to work, and I've been really good about the self-quarantining, only going out when absolutely necessary. And a lot of stuff has gotten done around the house. It's always interesting to see, say what you want to about Facebook. It's like anything, it's a double-edged sword, but it is always good being able to keep in touch with friends and seeing how they're managing their time right now. And we have some amazingly creative friends. We'd mentioned earlier that, City Comicon had gotten canceled. But thanks to some quick thinking from our friend Amanda, she was able to help piece together a virtual City Comicon, right. And that was fantastic.
Yeah, she actually had that for 2 days, full lineup of people and everything, so that was really cool. So,
mm-hmm.
And a great job, Amanda.
Yes, that was a great job. It was one of those things. I'm still on third shift. So I wasn't able to see a lot of those things live, but being able to go back and watch it and seeing some of our friends, like Rodney Fike, it was great. Sean Forney, it was great seeing them and great seeing them working, getting to see a lot of their live sketches and everything. This has really brought out the creativity in a lot of people, a lot of the viral videos and doing things like this. TV, we got to see some of our favorite shows get really creative. One of the best examples was Parks and Recreation, their quarantine show. That was phenomenal. That was well done, very well put on. A lot of videos right now of actors and cast members of different shows doing readings from episodes, like Community,
It
and
looks like the
I
Brady
saw
Bunch.
that. Yes. Um, yeah, I got to see video of Robin Wright Penn and Gary Ellis from The Princess Bride together doing a little reading. That was great. It was really great seeing the geek culture, uh, the popcorn culture, uh, getting together and still being able to entertain people. A lot of cosplayers have been doing those cosplay videos, that show people, like in their normal gear, and then doing that number, and then in costume. Those were fantastic, So it was kind of like still being able to be at a con and seeing a costume contest without the contest part, but getting to see the cosplayers showing off their craft. And I am extremely proud of the level of creativity we've seen people enact during all of this.
Yeah, and poor CW network, all the DC TVs, they had to get cut short. Most of them lost their season finales, so
Yeah.
it was weird how they had to end all that stuff. And that's kind of wild, since this week we saw a lot of the finales, and a lot of changes is happening.
Yes. Luckily, the CW has been kind of like a little bit of an oasis of new material for us, because that's one of the big talking points of like during this quarantine time is, what show did you binge? What show did you get caught up on? It's that time for everybody to get refamiliar with shows that they watched a while back ago, or they haven't gotten a chance to watch yet. But it was really nice that, CW was able to pull out, some new episodes. And like you said, season finales, but also a series premiere. And we'll talk about that. First, I think we got to talk about, let's see some of the shows that have been back. We've seen The Flash.
Yeah.
Batwoman. Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow,
They all came back, tried to finish out the season, but like I said, most of them got cut short because I think most of them had 2 episodes still remaining in the film. I think Batwoman was the only one that was actually closer to get done than everybody else because of the scheduling and everything. So we got lucky. At least we got a lot of them ended good, though. A lot of cliffhangers. A lot of cliffhangers.
Yeah. I gotta say, it's so weird to talk about. I know we've done it. We've talked about it before, but it's still really weird for me to talk about the CW and not talk about Arrow. It's just like, I still feel that hole. It's just not there. But the Flash, I gotta be honest with you, Richard. The Flash isn't doing it for me anymore.
It really drugged, didn't it?
I'm sorry. I don't know how to put it. It was always like, especially in comparison to Arrow, which was the dark brooding show, the Flash was the light, because I remember we made this comparison when the CW when the Arrowverse really first started. It was like their versions of Superman and Batman, where Batman was the dark and gritty and Superman was the light. And Arrow and Flash kind of encompassed those roles, where Arrow took the role of Batman, the dark and brooding, and Flash took the role of Superman, which is the light, more, I don't want to say carefree, but the brighter, more heartfelt show. And it just almost kind of seems like since Arrow left, like the Flash is trying to fill that dark brooding void. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, well, like it's when Iris went into that mirror universe. Lot of spoilers if you hadn't seen it yet. that whole story just seemed like the second half of the season just
Drug.
yeah. It's like that should have been done. And then when him losing his powers, just I don't know.
It was both of those, the stuff with Iris in the Mirrorverse and Barry losing his powers, both of them almost feel like they were supposed to be maybe 1 or 2 episode story arcs that got drug out for an entire season.
Yeah,
like they ran out of ideas and said, crap, we got to drag this on.
Well, it was the crisis there. After the crisis, and then they were running around trying to figure out what they were going to do with the new universe or something. It just didn't seem
Yes. And they had such a great I don't want to say out, but it seemed like they threw that whole idea away, because think about like Cisco's role at the beginning of the show with, he left, but his journey was going to be to document all the changes that had happened since the universes got melded together. It's like it's really like they threw that away. They really touched upon it at like one point where he whipped out the little card book. Remember the old trading cards that we used to have, of like the superheroes that had their powers and everything? He whipped out one of those books and was like, oh yeah, oh yeah, Mrs. Mirror, she's new and blah, blah, blah. It's like they completely they touched on it once and then they threw it out. There was so much potential there for a really great story.
Atlantis. Where did that storyline go?
Yes. They did. It's like they had such great potential. It almost feels like one of those behind the scenes writers thing where it was like these two writers had really great ideas and we're going to go with them. But then this isn't what happened, but it has that feel like these writers had really great ideas, and then someone pissed on somebody's shoes and then they got fired and took those stories. You know what I mean? Like they took those stories with them.
Right.
And now, there's that vacuum. So these other writers over here are like, crap, we have to make our story arc an entire season. That's what it felt like, And I hate to.
Oh,
no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, at least Supergirl ran with it. The change.
Yes. But I did like, there were some highlights to this last seasons of Flash. I'm a Harrison Wells fan, no matter his incarnation. I love seeing Tom Cavanaugh. It just seemed like when it comes to the TV show The Flash, everything but The Flash and Iris was really good.
Right.
The stuff. The only thing that still kind of gets me is how. Wait a minute! What happened to the new techie guy? Remember the guy that?
Yeah, what was his name?
This is what. This is what, ladies and gentlemen. This is what happens when we go live and we don't. We can't look. I can't look stuff up right here. But yeah, the techie guy that was kind of. You kind of got the feeling he was going to take Ramon's place. But then Ramon came back and they literally, now that I think about it, they literally just ignored him. Because the last couple episodes, he had nothing to do with the show whatsoever. Even in a background aspect, he was completely gone.
Yeah, because wasn't he the guy that found the dark matter or something?
Yes.
And then they brought him in for,
Yeah, because there was that great moment where they're in the speed lab and he realizes, oh my God, Barry Allen is the Flash. They had that moment. He's completely gone. It was kind of strange that Cisco's girlfriend, who I really like, but they slipped her in as a member of Team Flash really quick and like under the radar too. Like 1 minute Cisco and her are dating, and next thing you know, she knows who Barry is and is like right there,
Yeah.
And it's almost like a prerequisite that no matter what your background or what your field in is, the minute you become part of Team Flash, you're a freaking computer expert. Because she was a photographer.
Right.
She's a photographer. And the next thing you know, like out of nowhere, she's like at the speed lab, like, I've hacked the main, like, no. But for me, one of the big bright spots of, I'm still trying to get, I feel like Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know where my camera's at. The highlight for this season for me has definitely been Ralph Dibny and Sue Dearborn.
Yeah.
And
that's about the best part of Flash this whole season to me.
Yes, the two of them, their chemistry. I legitimately love those two actors have legitimately good chemistry, and I love the two of them together. Simply, well, like I said, because they have great chemistry, but because I'm an old school Elongated Man fan. It's like bittersweet because we all love the two of them together, but we know what happens to Sue. It may never. I doubt it ever happens in the Flash.
Let's
but
hope not.
I really do. I hope it doesn't, because that's, even if it does, that better be years down the road. But for anybody who's confused about what we're talking about, go read Identity Crisis.
Identity Crisis, yeah. Identity
Crisis. Sorry, you get your crises confused from time to time, but
every mind swaps.
Yeah, but the two of them together, the whole cat and mouse, the will they, won't they? I did. The highlight of this season for me was Ralph and Sue, and anytime the two of them were on screen together just tickled me, and I absolutely adore the two of them together.
I just hope next season they can just kind of roll off what happened this year and just like catch up and go different direction. Let's get Iris out of the mirror universe and start over.
Oh, God. Yes, man. Usually I'm against shows doing like a 1-episode cleanup, but I mean, really, Barry, now is the time to go back in time. If Barry wanted to go back, now that he's seen the exact moment where Iris gets pulled through the mirror, if Barry wants to go back in time and F the timeline up just to pull, I'm for that. Let's be done and over with this.
How's he going to get his Speed Force back?
I don't know.
That whole thing is all muddled,
Very muddled. And I hate to say it, but of the CW shows this season, of this year, Flash is like my least favorite. And I will still watch it, but I mean, I guess it's true. Every show, no matter how good, has that season, or
Yeah.
Maybe they'll akin it to Community. What was it, season 8? It was like the year the gas main broke, and nobody likes to talk about it. But you'd mentioned earlier one show that has been running with everything is Supergirl.
Oh yeah, the second half.
The second half, yes. And I am. I'm probably biased. I mean, I really love Supergirl, but Lex Luthor, man. Jon Cryer as Lex Luthor. I was so tempted because I got robbed of all my comic book conventions this year. I was so tempted to do this broadcast in my suit and my Lex suit and tie. For those of you who don't know, because I haven't even shared those pictures on our Facebook page. But one of the things that I did do during quarantine was I went ahead and I went full Lex. You can kind of tell here. I bit the bullet. I completely shaved my head. I let the beard grow a little bit. I was lucky just before. I mean, this was like just a few weeks before quarantine. Any cosplayer will tell you one of the best places to find stuff is thrift stores, and I was able to pick up an entire swank 3-piece suit. You know, the jacket, the pant, matched everything, the tie for less than $25. And I got to toot my own horn, which I don't do very often. But when I put that suit on and I'm full bald, I'm full Lex. And the downside to it is like the first time I put it on and I looked at myself in a full-length mirror, man, I felt like Lex and I wanted to be a complete dick. And I was already I had been planning those moments, especially at Gym City, for people who knew me and, you know, friends we have conversations with on Facebook who've already made that comparison. You know, I was just going to go for it. But honestly, Jon Cryer as Lex Luthor I know I'm biased saying this, but he has done really well. You know, I rank him up there. You know, for me, he's one of the top Lex Luthors. I always put Gene Hackman's portrayal of Lex Luthor in Superman the movie. I put him in a different category because that performance stands alone. That one, you know what I mean, right? Because it was a great performance, but it wasn't exactly the level that you think about in the comic books. You know, the businessman, the calm, cool, collected. You know, he's more cartoony. And for me, my favorite Lex is Michael Rosenbaum. His portrayal of Lex in Smallville. That to me is when I've been an avid Superman comic book reader since I was a zygote. You know, I'm pretty sure my mom just held Superman comic books up to the womb. That's the portrayal I see. So I always put him up here. But this Lex, Jon Cryer's, is right up there too, because we get to see the smooth talking businessman and the megalomaniacal super genius, the mad genius. You know, we get to see both of those. And his portrayal on Supergirl has been phenomenal. And seeing his relationship with Lena ebb and flow, you know,
and then
since
totally
and then here recently totally crash, you know.
But I liked how he redid the universe. You know, he became the center of the new Crisis universe, or the post-Crisis universe. You know,
yeah,
the sort of like the Tony Stark. You know, could do everything, man of the hour. You know,
yes. The cover of every magazine, which is another way that he really ties back into like the comic books, because in the comic books, you know, to those that know, like Superman and you know, the superheroes, they know he's a dick. They know he's an evil genius. But to the general population, you know, the guy on the street, he's a fantastic guy. You know, they don't know that side of him, and they really played up to that in this post-crisis Earth.
Just wait till he runs for president next season. Oh,
they better. No. I agree. I really want them to. If they were smart, they would do that. One of my favorite episodes this year, or this season, was we've gotten to see how everybody has been getting their lives caught up since post-crisis. You know, Supergirl and Flash, that was a great moment, you know, when they met Marv Wolfman, you know, at the end of Crisis. That was great. We got to see their lives start post crisis, how they're at their new jumping point. And one of my favorite episodes this season was we got to see the flashbacks, and it was a great moment too, where Lex literally wakes up in bed to being, like you said, Tony Stark. There's his butler, which I wish they would have called him Otis, but that they already took that character. But it was great seeing him get caught up on the universe and his relationship with his mother, and him trying to get a new relationship with his sister Lena. But that was a great episode, watching him get caught up on his new place in the new Earth.
Right. And then, of course, Batwoman's been okay. I like how they had the different things happen, but the big news at the end of this season, Ruby Rose gone.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen?
I know. I haven't delved too much into the her reason why. Do you know? Has she released?
Hasn't really said. A lot of the talk was scheduling. She just didn't like the schedule. She did get hurt during filming this year, so a lot of people was thinking maybe that had to do with it, or the producers just decided to let her go, and this was their way of letting her go her own way. So are we going to get a new Darren Stevens, or is it going to? Kate Kane.
Which it's very, I don't want to say exciting, but this is something very new for the CW show. Well, for a lot of shows, this doesn't really happen very often where.
But it has throughout the years.
It has happened, but especially in the CW universe, what's going to happen? Are they going to, like you said, are they going to write Kate Kane off, or are they going to, like you said, just pull a Darren Stevens and have a new actress slip in? It'll be very interesting to see.
I just think that'd be the best way to do it. Don't even acknowledge it. Just stick another actor in and just go with it,
I do too. I do too, because first of all, I was very upset to hear that she's, for whatever reason, personal or business wise, that she was leaving. I think that she makes a phenomenal Kate Kane and a phenomenal Batwoman. But I still really enjoy the show, and I don't want to see the show go away. And I think you're right. That may be the best thing, is to just put another actress into it without saying anything.
But it caught the Barry Allen-itis towards the end of the season. Everybody knows who she is now, and at the
pretty much, yeah.
Season, no one knew who she was except for Lucius Fox's son.
Yeah, Luke.
Luke, yeah, and that's what I liked, because it was, no one would know and stuff. And I think they should have carried that on a little further. But now it's like every time she turns around, someone knows she's Batwoman.
Yeah, but she's still not nearly as bad as Barry, though.
I know,
because at least a lot of these times the people, well, Luke had to know, right? And I do like her non-crazy sister knowing. Right. I do like that, because it does make sense that she would have a medic, because it really does, because we don't have Alfred. True. And Alfred really was Luke and her sister in one. He could do the technical stuff, and he was trained to do like a field medic. Right. But I like that she pretty much kind of figured it out. Yeah. That was good. Whereas Barry was just like, I'm Barry Allen, like, Jesus, Barry, come on. Which was one thing. Another thing they really didn't touch on in The Flash was, remember when Harrison teleported everybody, including the bad guy, to Star Labs? Yeah. At the end of the last episode, it was just like, oh crap, is he going to figure it out? You know, because they put him right in the middle of the lab, and Flash's suit is literally like right there. You know, she's like, come on. But I really, if they're going to replace the actress with another actress, I really hope, like you said, that they just, we may be alone in this. I hope they pull a Darren Stevens and just slide her in, because to acknowledge it would be worse.
Yeah.
And this is a CW. All they got to do is like, oh, Barry bumped into a coffee table. Wow, Flashpoint, and she looks different, you know.
Or they could even,
or just don't acknowledge it, because if you think about it, Rich, one thing that they could do was the multiverse is gone, but they have acknowledged that just because they have a Superman in every universe doesn't necessarily mean they're all going to look like the exact same human being.
True.
You know, we've got, you know, Tyler Hoechling's Superman, and then Brandon Routh's Superman. But then Brandon Routh also, you know, that Superman is a spitting image of, you know, Ray Palmer. You know, it could be the whole wibbly wobbly, you know, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, you know, thing. So yeah, I agree.
The Legends will screw it up.
That's another possibility. That is, you know, which we'll get into Legends here in like a half a second, because we got about 10 minutes, and I'm trying to be really good. But yeah, I really, in closing, I really do. I really like the show. I don't want to lose the show. I'm sad she's going. But like you said, if they're going to do it, pull a Darren Stevens and just do it and be done with.
Legends.
Legend. I'm gonna go. I've said it before, and I will say it again. Legends of Tomorrow has become my go-to favorite CW show. Oh crap! We got to be quick about Legends, because we okay.
Oh yeah, the new one.
Crap. Okay, let's for time's restraint. Let's.
Well, the Legends season finale is next week, so we can talk about Legends then.
Yes. Real quick, Legends of Tomorrow, one of my favorite shows. Mick Rory is awesome. Oh my God, I love Mick Rory. But yes, let's go to we actually had a series premiere this week. CW's Stargirl.
Well, DC Stargirl.
DC Stargirl, yes. Which I got to ask you real quick, Richard, we've acknowledged that is not in the Arrowverse. That is not in Barry Allen's universe.
As far as I know, it didn't seem like it.
Because
the production value was too good. Oh.
No, you're fucking dead on, man. Dude, I mean, we got Luke Wilson, who I absolutely love him. And then I knew, but I hope we get more flashbacks, because seeing Joe McHale, I absolutely adore Joe McHale. If you'd have told me that we'd have seen Joe McHale as a superhero, I would have told you you're nuts. But it made sense. I mean, Joe McHale is one of the funniest. I love Community. I love the The Soup, the Joe McHale Show, which you can find on Netflix. In real life, he's a pretty buff ass dude, man. There were some episodes, especially on the Talk, where he came out in like I know this is gonna sound like, forgive me, but he'd come out in like a tight sweater. You're like, Jesus, dude's jacked, you know. So it made sense. But one of my favorite moments of that show was at the very beginning, where they show the flashback when he's talking to Luke Wilson, and he's talking about carrying on the torch, and he's like, "Not you, not you. Find somebody, not you." It was just like, God damn, that was cold, man. It was just like, not you. But I remember the comic book Stars and Stripes. Dude, that suit impressed the hell out of me.
Yeah.
That suit impressed. Okay, I'm jumping ahead. I really did enjoy this show. I like the way I like the way they're handling it. You know, we uh, seen the introduction of Courtney Whitmore. You know, the stepdaughter to Luke Wilson's character. You
Stripey.
know, the whole yeah, Stripesy. Oh gosh, I love that. I love that too, because in real life, a stepdaughter. I've heard stepdaughter like no, Stripesy's stupid. Stripe, and then like later on, he's like, you know, to hear you say it, yeah, it does sound stupid. I love their dynamic. Um, I love the actress's portrayal of Courtney. She really does have the look, the feel, and the mannerisms of Courtney Whitmore, especially from the JSA comic books and Stars and Stripes.
Yeah,
Rich?
it seems like the original run before the 52 reboot, because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care for her during the reboot for some reason. It just didn't feel like the old, because the old was very, how do I want to say, playful, more. It took liberty
Yes.
with the Justice Society of America, because they were rebooting the Justice Society of America at that time, and it was, and that's what we're going to see, because I've seen some production photos and stuff, so this is going to be pretty cool when the rest of the new JSA will pop up. So
Oh yeah. And seeing like the photographs and like the flashbacks of that final fight with the original JSA. God, man, that was awesome. Those were, you know, like when he flat out calls out Dr. Midnight and seeing them, granted he's laying on the floor, and he's, but I mean, like when they showed the picture,
oh yeah,
it gave me chills the same way it did back when they introduced the JSA in Smallville. We got to see, the
yeah,
pictures and the flashbacks, those were, especially for the time during Smallville, that was a really good production value for that. And to see this JSA, they stepped up. They looked fantastic. She was great. I can't wait to see how they pit her against the supervillains and the reintroduction of the new JSA. The suit, I mentioned it earlier. I really dug the suit. One of the key things I really liked about the suit was when you looked at it from the outside and the inside, you saw car parts. You know what I mean? These weren't, Tony Stark level, nanobite car parts. When they showed him in the suit, I saw flywheels, I saw fan belt. It looked very realistic, but it looked like something of that his level could have done.
yeah,
It wasn't like he busted out the $75 billion techno suit. He built it like out of scrap car parts. And just that final scene where we knew who he was, but when
right.
Courtney, who just got her butt smacked, and handed to her, is sitting there and she's looking up at him, and you could hear that stepdad authoritative voice, Courtney, I told you. You're just like, oh, dope. That was really good. It really did for a series premiere. It did really impress me. Rich.
Yeah, I just can't wait to see rest of it. I watched it actually on Monday on DC Universe, so I didn't watch it on CW.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's actually there on the Monday, then CW gets it on Tuesday, then the CW app gets it on Wednesday. So it's actually on 3 different levels right there.
Yeah. So, Rich, I see. I'm being really good. See,
Yeah.
y'all don't understand how hard it is for me to do things live, because not only did I not swear a whole bunch, but Richard didn't have to edit a bunch of stuff. So we are running out of time. We want to thank everybody for watching. Richard, where can they find us? Where can they still continue to find us even during this quarantine pandemic?
Yeah, you can go to undergroundvideonetwork.com. That's our main headquarters. Find all our socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and that's about it now. So, yeah, check us out. And we're still on. So, you want to keep talking?
Yeah. We could go back. Everything is it going to end?
I don't know.
So this is, I don't. All right. How about this? Let's just go ahead. We'll keep, ladies and gentlemen, if you're still watching,
This is the extra after credit.
means I can swear, right? Okay. Legends of Tomorrow. We'll talk about that real quick. Legends. Boy, howdy, man, do I love that show. I think I love that show simply for the fact that show still does not take itself seriously. That show knows what it is, and we still there?
Yeah.
Okay, my screen. Okay, it might just be my phone. My screen froze up for a second. Oh, there we go. It does not, has not, and possibly in the near future will not take itself seriously, to the point where Gary, that was great when Gary was kind of hallucinating or having that image of Gideon, when he was hallucinating Gideon. He's like, oh, we could do a spin-off. Like, come on, man. Like, seriously, they acknowledge what they are.
Yeah, I love the frat house. I like the not the frat house one, the episode with the Greek god and the child
with Dionysus.
Yeah,
that was
like straight out of the 80s,
Oh man, it was like, it was almost like their spoof of Revenge of the Nerds. It was their homage to that. The only thing I still care. And I understand it's probably a special effects budgetary thing, but like Nate can turn to steel. Why is he not steel like 95% of the time? Like, seriously, like so many problems that they come across, he could just like, oh, I forgot I'm steel. Picks the car up,
Yeah.
That's my only
the zombies attacking him.
Exactly. Yeah, that what they did. They did show a couple times, where he did turn to steel and they tried biting. That was good.
Right.
But like that was definitely, there is 100% no doubt in my mind that wasn't an homage to Shaun of the Dead. Come on, man. They're in London during a zombie apocalypse and they end up at a pub. I was really surprised that there wasn't more Easter eggs. Like they didn't play Queen's, Don't Stop Me Now on the jukebox. But no, you're absolutely right. Like when they're trying to hold the door back, dude, I'm pretty sure he could have done that as steel by himself. Because I'm sitting there watching it going, just turn to steel. Just turn to steel. But I thought it was a clever little thing about how the zombies ignored Constantine because he has a damned soul.
Yeah,
that was pretty clever. I've never really heard that take before. That they would have. I still don't understand. Well, I guess if you think about it, it does make sense because this wasn't like a zombie plague, through like a virus or something. It was magically
fabricated,
enacted. Fabricate. Thank you. But it was a clever idea to have them completely ignore him because of his soul being damned. Mick Rory hitting that woman with the bus. God damn. Man, I'm telling you, right? I've said it before. I will say it again, and I will continue to say it. Mick Rory has become legitimately one of, if not my favorite character in the CW universe. And I love the way they use him. I hope they don't. It's kind of one of those catch-22s where I want to see more of him, but I get the feeling if they do more, they won't do it right. It's like he's fantastic. Everything with his daughter. I absolutely adore everything with his daughter. That was great. I love seeing their relationship. Like when they're at the school, when they're touring the college, and you see Mick genuinely want to be a good human being and say, no, Nate's her dad because I don't want to embarrass her.
Right.
That was touching. That was touching. And then, like, a second later, he's like, hey, look at that building. And it's like Rory Hall. He's like, yeah, I went back in time and made a donation. It's like, oh, come on, man. that is so Mick Rory. He went back in time, stole something, and donated it, you know. But when he hit that woman with the bus, because not only he hit her with the bus, and it was like, and the blood just smeared. You're just like, oh my God. Then everybody gets out, and like it didn't faze him at all. He's like, everybody's like, you killed her. He's like, no, I didn't. Look, she's still moving. You know, it didn't faze him at all. Like, he did not. He was like, no. Oh man, that was so good. And let me ask your opinion, Rich, before I say mine. We kind of had a feeling that something was brewing between two characters on the show, Zari and John Constantine.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about that, Rich?
I don't know. Because it's not the same Zari, because it's the post-crisis Zari. So, yeah.
No. Not technically not post-crisis Zari. That was that amusement park
right. When
wibbly wobbly.
When the brother came back and took over and all that, yeah. So I still think the sisters are going to do something once they weave things back together, or, you know, for next season they can change whatever they need to do. So I don't know.
But it was, you kind of got the impression that something was going to happen between John and Zari. You know, they were building up that love-hate relationship, and surprise, you know, to no one, they hooked up, you know, right. And it was cute. You know, it was interesting to see that dynamic, you know, the gruff, I don't care about nobody and anything, John Constantine, and the I only care about myself and vain, egotistical new Zari, you know, and seeing the two of them naturally kind of mesh together, you know, it was cute. It was fun.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I like the Constantine character, but I'm kind of, they're not quite playing them exactly. I don't know. It's a little looser compared to what the comic book is, you know?
Yes. And compared to what we saw of him in his show.
Right.
And at the very beginning of his run in the show.
Right.
But I mean, you could attribute that to actual character development. I mean, this is the longest time that we've seen this kind of this particular John Constantine in a team group type situation, you know, living in those, you know, kind of close quarters with people that actually are decent human beings and caring human beings. Right. You know, not just the Justice League Dark type people.
Yeah, yeah. I still don't. I like how he kept referring back to Rip too in this last episode.
Yes, and yes, and it makes me wonder. You know, it could be speculation, but that show is very loose and fun. But a lot of times that show is still also very deliberate too. If you go back and rewatch the last couple of seasons, they are really good about slipping things in. I'm wondering if we might not see Rip again.
That's true.
Because
I think it'd be nice.
I would. So would I. You know, maybe it's a Loom thing.
You just want to see his son pop in.
I really do. I think that would be. Fuck you. Come on, man. There's still hope for Booster Gold. Come on, man. You know, we introduced an old school, you know, JSA, we introduced an old school Blue Beetle that could, you know, segue into a new Blue Beetle, You know, there's your breakout. There is your breakout series premiere of 2021, The Blue and the Gold. That's all I'm going to say.
But
Those two.
We're going to get another series in 2021, though. We're getting another CW series, Superman and Lois.
Oh God, thank you. Sorry, I was drawing a complete blank. Yes, you're absolutely right. Yes,
because everything's been pushed to 2021 now. We will not see any more DC TV new after Stargirl, but they are getting Swamp Thing this summer.
I know, which I'm really excited. I'm mixed about, because I'm really excited. I loved Swamp Thing on the DC Universe app. I loved it because that one was purposely dark and gritty and should have been dark and gritty.
Right.
I'm wondering if they're going to be able to carry that level over to the CW universe.
Same series.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
They're not making any new. They're just rebroadcasting them on the CW.
Oh, I thought that they were bringing it.
No. It's just they're rebroadcasting them, trying to get a wider audience. And with the HBO Max, we're getting the second season of Doom Patrol, but Doom Patrol will still be on DC Universe.
Right.
So, at least we still get that. And then there's still, I guess, the Titans season 3 is basically done. So we'll see that later on this summer also, or into fall, right?
Yeah. Because, look, me and you have gone on record as tooting the DC Universe's app. I will say this, though, because especially like right now, the only thing that's really been on the CW app new has been Harley Quinn, which is phenomenal. It's great.
And it's moving to Sci-Fi. So if you don't get DC Universe, you can watch it on Sci-Fi.
It's almost like these shows are like crap, man. Like the rats are abandoning ship, Richard.
No, I just think it's WB milking it as best they can by throwing it anywhere and then some.
True.
And then HBO Max is going to come, and then all of a sudden we're just going to be everything on HBO Max, probably. I hate to say that.
And I hate to say it because we've gone on record before as, talking very great about the DC Universe app. I finally reached that point now, Richard, where it's...
Yeah.
They
totally switched and went to HBO Max.
The
new people that came in and took over. AT&T bought Warner Brothers, so now they want to move everything into one thing, so that AT&T can offer it through their service. Probably.
Yeah, I did. I am getting to that point now where, even, the quarantine stuff aside, the lack of really good new content on the DC app. And I think one of the things that ticks me off is we're seeing DC put out all this stuff that you think if they were smart, they would incorporate into the DC Universe app, but they're not. Like Superman, Red Sun, the animated movie.
Right.
I purchased it. I love the original story. I really enjoyed the animated movie. A little slower and a little duller than it's more story driven than your usual DC animated story. I still really enjoyed it. Not on the DC app, And then here recently, Justice League Dark, the latest one, the end of the Apocalypse stuff.
Yeah.
DVD, Blu-ray, digital, not the DC app.
Yet.
You
never know. They still might put it on there.
Yeah, but when? That's the thing. And with DC doing all this talk about making some of their we talked about it just the other night, some of their comic books strictly digital format only.
Yeah.
From what I understand, those aren't going to be on the DC Universe app either. As they come out.
Yeah, but the whole comic book stuff on there isn't even that great anymore. It's like
No, it's
they're
not.
not even pushing it anymore. Like I said, I think they just
Mm-mm.
lost total interest in it, and I don't think they hit the numbers like they wanted to.
It had great potential, but it was a too much too soon situation, and they ran out of material. And like I said, I absolutely love the animated Harley Quinn, not enough to justify the app. And I like we said, I'll give it a grain of salt, you know, with the quarantine and everything. But the big reasons why I really stuck with it, you know, Titans, Doom Patrol, like you said, I just don't have faith that those are going to be the only places I can see them.
Nope, not now.
So, you know, why bother? You know,
Right. I mean, just look like Stargirl. You know, Stargirl is on CW now, so you know you can get that for free on Wednesday. You know, if you have the CW app, or you could just watch it on air when it's broadcast on Tuesday. So you know, it's probably, like I said, it's probably over. But like I said, HBO Max starts next week, so I'm gonna probably see what that's like when it first comes out, because I already have HBO now right at the moment. So I think it automatically switches over to the Max, or you get access to it while you still have it. But I don't know. At least I'm gonna try to hurry up and watch the Joker before I lose my subscription.
I hate that. Oh no, joke. I was one of those I was one of those people that was really late to the show when it came to the Joker, and
I just started watching it for the first time last night until you called me back and said you figured out your phone.
So I'm going to go ahead and call it, Richard. We're going up on the hour mark, and I think we've talked about pretty much everything we want to talk about. Yeah, really enjoyed the CW shows, Flash. Everything that's great about the Flash isn't the Flash. Is pretty much Harrison Wells, Joe, Cisco. Oh, and we were seeing the departure of Killer Frost.
True.
Because, you know, of what's going on with her in real life, which congratulations to her, you know. So, yeah, it's just...
Well, I just hope they can get back and start working on them, you know, because, like I said, they delayed them, you know, at least till till January, so we won't see anything new. So what are we going to talk about?
I know. Well, luckily, as of right now, we're live. Many states are doing a very soft open to different things, and I can speak for my comic book shop here in Lima, Ohio. Alter Ego Comic Books is reopening. They have reopened. They reopened last week, very responsibly, very maturely. Masked, you know, the social distancing, you know, I'm very happy to see my comic book store is open. I'm even more happy to see that they're doing it very responsibly. I went in last weekend. There were no new comic books, so I got a chance to catch up on a couple graphic novels. You know, I wanted to...
at some stores. At some stores last week, we did get DC.
Mm-hmm.
And then the new stuff was Wednesday or yesterday.
Yep.
Yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're live. And I'm third shift. I have no concept of tomorrow or yesterday. This is Wednesday or Thursday. It could possibly be Friday for me. I don't know. I woke up like an hour ago. So at least we'll have some new comic books to talk about. And once again, Richard, because we're hitting up on that moment, which is good to know that we can go a full hour.
Right.
Rich, you want to remind everybody where they can catch us at on the interwebs?
Yeah, undergroundvideonetwork.com for now. And then you can find the links to all our socials, Facebook and Instagram, and just catch us there. And this is being broadcast live on Facebook right at the moment. And then I hope they'll switch the audio over and be part of our podcast. So that's it. You ready?
All right. Yep. Everybody, stay safe, take care, be kind, and hopefully we'll see you at a con very soon.